So I'm sure you've heard about polyphenols. They're often in the media when we're talking about things like the benefits of red wine, but you might already know polyphenols are a substance that we get in foods like berries. So anything that's like a dark sort of, purpley blue kind of color tend to have high levels of polyphenols. And essentially what they are is they're a substance that we cannot absorb. So it ends up going down to our colon, where they're broken down into phenols, and then certain bacteria that like to feed on them will use them as energy, and that helps to allow them to proliferate. The interesting thing about polyphenols is they tend to be able to feed the butyrate producing bacteria, which is the good ones, essentially, the ones that are able to help feed and nourish our colonocytes. Polyphenols have also shown to be really useful for helping things like leaky gut and preventing things like leaky gut, because they tend to be more associated with lower levels of zonulin, which is a marker that's strongly indicated for having leaky gut. So this would be useful for things like preventing autoimmunity, for example. But the interesting thing about polyphenols, as I said, is that we know that we can get them from things like berries, and that is something that's been known for quite a while. But what about if you're on a diet that is not consuming a lot of these polyphenol-rich foods, like, for example, a carnivore diet? How are these people getting their polyphenols, and how is it that their gut bacteria is able to still proliferate some really nice species? Well, you may not know this, but polyphenols are actually able to be produced not just from plant substances and plant foods like berries. We can also produce polyphenols from certain amino acids. Now, some of these amino acids are going to be brought in from our diet, and some of them are going to be produced endogenously within our colonocyte cells. What are these amino acids? Well, phenylalanine is one. Now, phenylalanine is actually an essential amino acid, so we have to get this from our diet. So obviously you can get this a lot from animal foods. Interestingly, phenylalanine is then converted to tyrosine, and tyrosine is also known to be a polyphenol producer. And then from there as well, we can convert that tyrosine to dopamine, and dopamine too is also shown to be a precursor for polyphenols. Another interesting one is tryptophan, which is the precursor to something called 5-HT, which is serotonin. So what I'm trying to say here is that it's very interesting for me. I come to this, to my learning of biochemistry at uni with this idea in my head of, well, I've been doing I did a carnivore diet for several years before studying dietetics, and I'm kind of like, how does this work? How is it that my health is better? Why is my health better? And why is it that so many people that I see and that I talk to, clients, why is it that their health is better than it was when they were consuming a high amount of these, plant foods? And I am not still doing completely carnivore. I'm probably carnivore-ish now. So I do include some of these foods, but very, very small amounts. So why is it that my gut bacteria is happier? And these are one of the reasons. So I hope you found that really interesting. You don't need to consume a huge amount of polyphenol-rich foods in order to get the polyphenols. You can get it from amino acids.